Wow, remember this thing? Remember RPaGa? Yep. 2015, when RPG Maker MV came out, I set out on a journey to create a bunch of rimshot reference jokes about RPG tropes and other weird things. It was a big, giant comedy game featuring characters primarily based off of members from the Teamudf community and things like that. And then, like most things that I work on, at some point, I ended up giving it an actual plot, and I started giving a crap about the character development and actual world building and things like that. And now RPaGa has kind of evolved into this chimera where it's like half comedy but half taken seriously, and there's still a bunch of old RTP stuff floating around, but there's a bunch of new stuff as well. It's really like just a mishmash of everything that I've enjoyed in RPG Maker. And you guys on YouTube have not gotten really an update since, I'd say, maybe summer 2018. You know, I went off to go work on my card game and my card game series. And so I just kind of never really got back to this until summer 2020. And funny enough, one of the first things I started doing was coming back to try to just update some of the old graphics. Oh no, it's the dreaded Crystal MacGuffin. You know, we tried to update some of the old graphics and things like that. Like, here's another example. You might remember, you know, Blaine's old apartment and stuff. Here's the old apartment building. Look how big it was. It just used a bunch of really random RTP resources, and not even in that great of a way. Like, this flooring makes no sense and everything. So, I mean, it's still very fancy, but we've definitely updated quite a bit here graphics-wise. I'm still a little bit plagued by all the older generic stuff in kind of the middle segment of the game. I'm not really sure what to do with a bunch of it. But like I said, it's a mishmash. So I want to give you guys an update finally on old RPaGa here. Number one, it's not dead. I've been working on it through the entirety of June. I just haven't had any real ideas for what to upload as far as YouTube goes. I wasn't really sure what would be exciting to watch. I don't know, you might have enjoyed things like, I've constructed this list of stuff that I just go through every time I stream RPaGa, and I just start trying to turn stars into plus signs to indicate that I've fixed something up or changed something or whatever. I've dumped a lot of the bloated content, like the synthesis system doesn't exist anymore. We're gonna get rid of the rune circle system. All these things might be able to come back in like a future game or something, but right now, what I primarily want from RPaGa, this iteration of RPaGa here, because there's a lot of work put into this thing. There's 325 maps. There's 5 years of work on and off here. Well, closer to 4, because I don't think I did anything in 2019. But anyway, 4 to 5 years of just on and off work here. What I primarily want out of RPaGa is for it to be its own game. Basically, Season 1 now is going to be its own game. So, by the time Season 1 is over, the goal is that this game here has enough of a conclusive ending that this game can reasonably stand on its own. Not all of the world or current events of RPaGa will be solved by the time Season 1 is over, but I want this individual plot to have some kind of ending by the time it's over. And then maybe there are hints or things left behind so that we can say, oh man, but there's more to the world, or maybe Teamudf will pick it up later. So it's not exactly meant to be sequel baiting, but I would understand why people would see it that way. It's just that there's so much going on, and the 4-season model that I was doing in here was about to be way too much of a task, and if I'm working on a card game and writing and doing daily streams and stuff, and I'm still teaching full-time, then it's like, yeah, probably we should slow down here. Teamudf has a habit of doing a little too much to himself, but, you know. So last we left off, you guys were watching me construct Tarasina, the primary location for Season 2. And now, given what I just said, that basically means that all the Season 2 plans are kind of wiped out. Pretty much everything up to the Tower of Ciphers will end up staying relatively the same, but the way that things are getting structured, I don't know, it's just different now. So as an example, with the game needing to have a conclusion now, I've pretty much killed all of the Season 2 plans. So all that stuff that you saw for like Mission 9 and 10 and things back in 2018, I'm not actually sure how much of that is even going to happen now. I think it is probably all going to go down differently. What I would like to do is finagle a way to get this giant freaking location that I bothered to build to be still a major component of the story in Season 1. So somehow this just doesn't go to waste. It would be nice. I've already built like a bunch of the homes and everything too, so I mean, it would just be nice to use the things that I've actually built. So I'm working on that, and that's, again, part of this, like, list thing that I do when I'm streaming RPaGa on Twitch. So the good news is that since I'm compressing things down a lot and I'm trying to make sure that things have an actual ending here, that means that most of the party characters have already benefited from, like, added dialogue, added cutscenes, a bunch of more interactions and things like that. I've really improved upon the amount of content that each individual party member, maybe save for Kolarovich, has gotten so far. Locke got huge dialogue updates. Aaron and Neo are both going to benefit greatly from this. Pretty much this whole dimension of just sending the game down into one season is going to do ridiculous wonders for Neo and Aaron especially. And I'm trying to work some things in there for Blaine Carnelia and Locke and Karlarovich as well, rather. I'm not sure if we'll have K. Roman in here by the end of Season 1. Probably a couple other things missing as well. But, you know, these are sacrifices I'm willing to make in order for the story to kind of come together and not be a total garbled mess by the time Season 1 is over here. And then, I don't know, if I ever get back to this, maybe if there's a Season 2 or something, the idea is that I could come back and pick it up in, like, a different game. I could use updated or commissioned graphics. I could try to inch myself away from the more default things that I have here and just use all my custom stuff. I can try out a new battle system, perhaps. I've wanted to do a couple things with that rune circle system. I've got a really weird non-transitive elemental system in my head that I want to give a shot. Or maybe I'll just abandon all the fighting entirely and do something like a visual novel. I don't know yet. I've got ideas for the future, but I'm really trying to buckle down and just focus on Season 1 right now. How can I construct everything in such a way that Season 1 fits in its own little nice dimension and everything kind of works out nicely? So, maybe a little bit more rambling than what I would have wanted for this video, but I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what's going on here. That there has been a lot of updates, there's been a lot of changes, especially gameplay and story-wise. The graphics, though, I'm always going to sit here, and I think I'm just always going to be like, well, darn. You know, if only I could find more non-RTP graphics. I've purchased some tile sets here and there, and they help out quite a bit, but I don't have the artistic skills to just think of tiles that I want and be able to construct them off the top of my head. That's not one of Teamudf's skills. So some things are probably going to be clashy versus each other here. I can maybe wave it away by saying, oh, it's different parts of the world and so on and so forth. But like here, just like some of the older stuff, I just look at on occasion. I'm like, I can't do this, you know? It's not for me. That's why these screens, like the old locker, you know, they just get these vast updates. You know, even the goofy crystal MacGuffins here, you know, because I was making fun of the crystal MacGuffins in the RPaGa story originally. And I don't know about the crystal MacGuffins anymore. They're used in a non-typical way. You know, RPaGa's a non-traditional RPG, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I could try to weasel in a different MacGuffin here in this story. But who knows? So yeah. Oh jeez, this one got messed up because I was finagling with tile sets. That's actually a really easy fix I could just do right now. But yeah. Or is it not? There we go. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, you can see I've got a few too many tile sets lying around in here. A lot of weird stuff. Luckily, all the plugins are still working, though. I've been able to start doing a playthrough and everything. I've got my new, like, playthrough notes down here of all the things I want to change. You know, it's a bunch of stuff. It's still a lot of fun thinking about, but I guess the reason I might sound a little down about it is because I've never really been sure what I'm doing publishing-wise for this series. I feel like there's enough that it can stand on its own, but I'm always not like, you know, I'm kind of that super careful take no risks kind of developer here, so I haven't been completely sure. And especially given that there's a lot of really strict quirks in the RPG Maker community, so I've pretty much had to make sure that I'm making a game that I want to play, making a world that I would want to experience. I'm definitely getting better at shutting out all those really strict voices, because that is a lot better for game design. It's been so much better doing that, where it's like, if I'm not focused on the competitive aspect, then it's actually fun designing things again. And that's definitely what it should all be about. But it's just every once in a while, you know, my own voice will be like, well, some of these graphics you've had for a very long time, and they're kind of standing out now. You've got all these new fancy ones, but like, oh man, Mission 5, dude. Mission 5 is always going to bug me. But it's just such a big area that I almost have to redo the entire thing if I want to go through and fix the graphics. And maybe what I could do is sneak around in GIMP and play with the tile set a bit and just insert the new walls that I want, but I don't know. There's still going to be some nonsense there. The point being, so again, because I ended up rambling anyway. I always freaking end up rambling in these videos. So RPaGa's not dead. You can still see me work on it on Twitch. I don't know if I'm going to upload any of the logs to YouTube this time around, mostly because it's stuff that you've seen before, and I'm just primarily going around and trying to slowly improve upon things and change things to fit the new story and things like that. But yeah, so there's still a lot of unfinished business here in RPaGa, but hopefully by the time it's done, you guys can just play it as a standalone game, and we'll see what publishing actually looks like. I'm not sure. I'm never, like I said, I'm not ever sure about the publishing for this game. But we shall see what we come up with. But I'm going to shut up for now, because I'm already talking too long. This video's already like 12 minutes, and I wanted it to be like 5. So, yay, another Teamudf masterpiece production video at work here. So I'm going to send you off for now. And we'll see you when we see you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!